Today, we are the University of Guam undergraduate team, and this is our presentation on the 2018 Oklahoma City CCR. I'm Giovanni Aldan.
I'm Star Perman.
And I'm Mark Natividad. We hope you enjoy the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to attend this meeting. The agenda for today is discussing Oklahoma City's Citizen-Centric Report, or CCR for short, for the fiscal year of 2018. At any point, you may refer to the hard copy handed to you upon entering the room. Before we move any further, I would like to give more background on what a CCR is in general, so we're all familiar with what to expect when looking at Oklahoma City's CCR. The CCR is an initiative created by the Association of Government Accountants, or AGA, and is intended to simplify communication between governments and their citizens. The CCR is a visually appealing 4-page document that includes community information such as population figures, regional characteristics, and government goals for the community, detailed cost and revenue information, performance information for key service areas, and a look at what's next in the year ahead. With that in mind, we can now take a look at what's displayed on page 1. Page 1 provides a brief overview of our city and the ambitions that we have for it moving forward. From this page, we like to highlight the information under demographics and strategic goals. Oklahoma City has been recognized as a great place to work, live, and visit by various media outlets. According to CNBC, in 2018, Oklahoma City was the #1 city in the country where wages outpaced expenses. We were also ranked as one of the top 10 best cities for new small businesses based on annual revenue and profitability. If you look under demographics, our figures support these claims as we've had an increase in population and a decrease in the unemployment rate. Now, moving on to strategic goals, we've listed 7 priorities that the city will be focusing on over the next 2 to 5 years. So we start off with aiming to promote thriving neighborhoods. To maintain a flourishing city, we must focus on the individual communities that make up our home. Number 2, we want to develop a transportation system that works for all residents, as we have seen a growing interest in public transportation improvement. Next, we will aim to maintain a strong financial management by electing prudent financial leadership and by diversifying revenue sources. Number 4, we will provide quality recreational opportunities to enhance community wellness. 5, we want to encourage a robust local economy that supports job creation and improves the local tax base. Next, city services are essential to the quality of life in our city, so we intend to uphold high standards for all city services. Finally, we will continue to pursue social and criminal justice initiatives by increasing our engagement with residents and community groups. We believe that the pursuit of fairness and respect for all will provide more unity within our community to move our city forward. If you'd like to find more information on the city's goals or other matters, you can visit our website at okc.gov, or you can find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now we'll move on to page 2, which will be discussed by Mr. Natividad.
When measuring the city's performance, our top priority revolves around transparency to provide citizens with clear and concise information. Contained within the second page of the CCR are performance and non-financial measures that reflect how different areas of the city operated during the fiscal year. The main performance measures are separated into 4 distinct sections and were specifically chosen to align well with the strategic goals listed on the first page. Within each section, the respective measures were picked to fulfill what we best thought the citizens would expect to see on this document. Another thing you might notice is the 2-year comparison with the previous fiscal year, as well as the targets for 2018. For the most part, the results tend to stay within the same range of each other, with increases and decreases in some areas. However, the most significant increase from 2017 is in the number of jobs created under the employment section. In 2015 and 2016, a recession related to the oil and gas sector caused a massive slump in unemployment. Though since 2017, job growth has returned to a positive trend with well over 7,000 jobs created in just this fiscal year. In addition to the performance measures, non-financial measures are also presented to show for some of the accomplishments made by the city during the year and are also carefully chosen to reflect the strategic goals. You might be wondering, what distinguishes the performance and non-financial measures from each other? Well, one way to look at it is that the performance measures are more qualitative in nature, whereas the non-financial measures are mostly quantitative. A majority of the performance measures are displayed as percentages based on the satisfaction of citizens. And in the non-financial measures, there are clear-cut numbers to see the actual change in amounts between the 2 years. For example, there were 143 more trees planted in 2018 compared to 2017, but less recyclables were collected in tons per day. However, less does not necessarily mean worse. A 4,000 decrease in physical arrests can be seen in the non-financial measures and may be indicative of less crime taking place. This is supported through the safety performance measures, where you will notice a consistent rate between the 2 years and a 2% increase in overall neighborhood quality. Other areas of significance found on the performance page include the accolades section, where you can see how outside sources view Oklahoma City and where the city falls under in certain lists with other major cities. For example, according to Business Insider, the city is the top 8 most popular city to live in right now. The picture that accompanies the accolades section depicts survivors and rescue workers of the 9/11 attacks replanting a seedling from the survivor tree as part of a dedication ceremony that took place at Oklahoma Christian University. The lower section of the page further adds on to the city's accomplishments with the MAPS 3 initiative, which is a capital project program aimed at improving the quality of life in the city. Shown on the page are the completed projects during the year and include the Will Rogers Trail, the Second Senior Health and Wellness Center, and the Oklahoma City streetcar system. The final MAPS 3 project is expected to be completed in 2020, and you can stay up to date by signing up for the MAPS 3 email newsletter or following their respective social media pages. Of course, capital projects make up a large part of the city's expenses, and so Mr. Aldan will add on to the city's financial side.
Page 3 discusses Oklahoma City's revenues and expenses, where we got our money and what we've been spending it on. Here we included charts and tables that showcase the fiscal year 2017 and 2018 for comparability purposes. Now, I'd like to direct you to the left pie chart at the bottom of the page. This graphic visualizes our revenue sources for the year, and as you can see, more than half of our revenue comes from taxes, 45% of which is from the sales tax. The Oklahoma City sales tax funds most of the city's day-to-day operations and capital projects. Every 2 1/4 cents collected goes to the general fund, 3/4 of a cent goes to public safety, 1/8 of a cent goes to Oklahoma City Zoo, and 1 cent goes to Better Cities, Safer Streets projects. The Better Cities Safer Street projects include street resurfacing, the building of new sidewalks and trails, and the hiring of additional fire and police personnel. These additions help to create more recreational opportunities for our community and provide us with safe, secure, and thriving neighborhoods. On the topic of security, Oklahoma City's largest expense is tied to keeping the public safe. As can be seen in the expense chart, 40% of Oklahoma City's funds is spent on public safety. In the last fiscal year, the Better City Safer Streets sales tax added $9.9 million to the general fund budget, paying for 129 positions in the police and 60 positions in the fire department. Other items to note, as highlighted in the report, is that total revenues decreased due to less capital contributions and donations to the city. On the opposite end, the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Public School Trust, which provided funding for public schools, was dissolved. This led to a significant increase in education expenses, which increased total expenses. If you are interested, more information on the city's finances can be found on our website. Now, to discuss our future outlooks and challenges will be Ms. Furman.
The final page of our CCR identifies some of the city's current challenges and provides a look at our future. The items presented as challenges are issues that we felt both current and new citizens of Oklahoma City would want to be aware of. These items were taken from the city's 5-year forecast for FY 2018 to 2022. We elected to focus on these 5 based on the 2 following factors. 1, the impact of the issue on the daily lives of citizens, and 2, the impact on city funds. The first highlighted challenge relates to employee recruitment. We chose to present this issue to inform citizens on the city's inadequate staffing levels of skilled workers. For citizens, this issue may impact the quality and timeliness of services and general assistance received. A similar concern is that of public transportation. Improvements in the public transportation system will allow the city to provide better quality service and carry more passengers. However, challenges lie in its cost of improvements, which include construction, repair, expansion, and bus replacement costs. Public safety is brought to attention as safety is normally a top concern for citizens. It is important to note the city's issue relating to public safety capital as the temporary use taxes, MAPS 3, which funded the public safety fleet replacement through fiscal year 18, will no longer be available. Next, the development of the American Indian Cultural Center is seen as a challenge because it was assumed from the state, but the city will be responsible for any operating deficit. Finally, the proposal of MAPS 4 is highlighted due to the potential it has to greatly impact the city if approved. Rest assured, your government does have proposed solutions for each of these issues, and if you'd like to know more about them, you can find detailed information in the city's 5-year forecast provided on our website. Finally, on the right, you can see some of the exciting things that we can look forward to as a city. Now that we've concluded our presentation of Oklahoma City's CCR, we'd like to hear from you. Please let us know if this report was helpful, and feel free to contact us if you'd like to see other information included in this report. You can reach us at the telephone number listed at the bottom of page 4, or visit our social media pages.
With that, we hope you all gained a better understanding of the CCR and the kind of information included. As Ms. Perman stated, the City Council is always open to more feedback, and we do hope to hear from you all about how the CCR can be improved upon in the future, as the aim of this initiative is to provide citizens of Oklahoma City with the pertinent and relative information to reflect the transparency between the city and the citizens. Thank you all again for coming and showing your support for the CCR initiative this afternoon. We greatly appreciate the turnout and hope everyone enjoys the rest of their afternoon. Thank you.